Hello, everyone. It's Amy from the Creativity Matters podcast, and I thought I would share another time lapse and just talk for a few minutes. It is the holiday week for many of us. It has been a lot of fun this year in my illustrated journal to work on holiday drawings, holiday illustrations, recording both ornaments, things on the tree, things sitting around the house, and picking and choosing some portraits to draw that are definitely holiday inspired. And I have been drawing these portraits for the last few weeks. So the two drawings in this time lapse I drew not this week. This one was so fun for me to do. This is the daughter of an artist in the community anyway. I just think this is an adorable picture. We have these glasses in my house. My mother brought these glasses. They come in several different patterns. And a few years ago, she brought these for all of us to wear. She always does those kinds of things for all of us to do to get a picture. Last year, we all wore fake tattooed sleeves, for example. So there's always something fun and unusual like that. So we have glasses like this, and they are covered in glitter and they're quite messy. But it was really fun to see this photo. I love the hat too, the Santa hat. I stopped at this point and I erased some of my lines to clean up what I was seeing, and then continued to work on darkening things and bringing the depth and shadow and light into the face the way I see it, the way I see it. And that's really what's important when you're drawing, to record what you see. She was fun to draw. She definitely looks a little older in my drawing, and that's okay. It was very fun to work on her hair, very fun just to put her on the page. She's so fresh. There's a crispness to her. I am one of those people that is much less invested in whether or not it looks exactly like the person, although modeled after the person, certainly. But it's okay with me if it ends up a little different. In this case, things did take a turn. I picked this photo. He is holding the letters Noel, the word Noel, and I don't usually pick male muses, but I really liked that he was holding these letters, and I thought, okay, I will try it. I did this during a drawing with friends session, and it was a challenge. I was working on him, ended up taking a whole page, of course, and I'm okay with that on these kind of portraits and on these weekend drawings. But I didn't realize when I first penciled him in that I was going to completely run out of room. So I start usually with the eyes and the nose, and then I work out from there, work out in all ways, up and down. I followed the face all the way down and realized the word Noel would definitely not fit on my page. I had room for the N and the O, and I just couldn't let it go saying no. I thought about changing it to ho, which, if you get ho ho, is fine. I laughed so hard in my group that day that honestly, I almost cried. Sometimes I get really tickled like that, and I do laugh and just cannot stop. And that is how I felt on this day. I debated about what to do, and I decided ultimately to go with O. Not a perfect solution, but it felt like it made some kind of sense to me. I didn't feel like I was leaving it with some ho moment, and I didn't feel like I was leaving it with the negativity of no. So I felt like it was a good workaround. And I think you have to give yourself the room, the latitude, the flexibility to do that, to make choices when things don't work out as planned. You have to be willing to go with what you can do, to make some changes, to make editorial changes, to bring it into the space you have, into your own vision, and to make it yours. So it's fine that it doesn't actually say Noel. I might do it again sometime on a bigger piece of paper where I could get Noel, but maybe not. This was a pretty involved beard for me. I am not a beard artist. There are a lot of people who are. I am really not. And I worked a lot to darken in this beard and to still try and retain some of the light without bringing white into it, to still give you a little bit of tone and depth and texture to that. In the picture, there is some red in this framing of the letters. I decided to do it my own way. I completely just turned the photo off at that point and decided to go ahead and just It's not exactly candy cane, but candy cane stripe it. It's fun. It was mindful just to fill that in that way. Filling in when you're not just hatching sometimes is slow with fountain pen, especially, but that's what I did here. And I was happy that I did that. It just adds a little bit of punch of color. I worked a long time to try to get those fingers in place. They are always a challenge. When you really start looking and drawing those different bits of the hand that way and how they connect and what comes in and where the shadows are, it's always an interesting challenge, an interesting process in your journal or sketchbook. He was super fun to do. I hope that you have been drawing fun things too for the holiday season. Thank you for joining in with me. A little bit of creative philosophy, creative life, creative margins, and creative sharing. You can find much more of the same kind of talk in the Creativity Matters podcast.